Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Baltimore Ravens. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Here we go. Come on, tip your arm. Check. Walk with the move on quickly. Let's go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, with that continuity is
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Christian Kirksey charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Jackson. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line.
And at Baltimore, first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Check. Walk with the 4. Oh, here we go. All right.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Mike, 53.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Going left side, it's complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
You're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Throwing, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. But a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 20-yard line.
That's the hard. What I need. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
To throw is Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
49, check 49.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Watch the pass. Watch out.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 38 yards on the scamper there.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. He was locked in last week, NFC Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2.
Clear some space in the trophy room. He won it last week. He's thinking he's going to get a few more before this season is over, maybe even starting with this game.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Gun.
They'll run for it with Cook. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further down.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll roll him out right. Got him in. It's Brown. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Gotta like what we're seeing from him so far in this game. This is the third game of the season, and he's already accumulated an AFC Offensive Player of the Week award in this young year.
Yeah, week 2 was his. The announcement came Wednesday that he got that award. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here we go, D.
From just shy of midfield, Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Christian Kirksey gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Here's Madison running on 1st down. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Back to the ground on 1st down. Here's Madison. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level. One of the best players in the game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Flushed out right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Let's go. First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Now Jackson on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Brown. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Over the middle here to Brown. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. It's caught by Aguilar. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's Jackson to throw. Forced out to his left. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Incomplete on the throwaway.
So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this from 46. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Vikings. 87 yards, the official distance on the kickoff return. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Shame, baby.
Carlson now to add the extra point. They missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. 27 yards there, a first down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He's got a first down and more inside the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do, and right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more confident? And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Daniil Hunter able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd and a yard, Jackson being chased out left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Here's Cousins. Looking left side, and it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Now Cook. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Cook stripped, the ball's out. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd down, Cook. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Go ahead.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. They'll run with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Jackson throwing again. He's going deep for Brown. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Aguilar has it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Let's go, D.
Again, Jackson. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Cook. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a give running right. It's Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Frank Clark, his 2nd sack of the night. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25.
Let's go now.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? Because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. Jackson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
At the 45-yard line.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Man, I got.
Here we go. Bring the energy.
On 1st down, Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here. Oh, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they'll indeed take a knee. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Minnesota, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore,